Hello, baseball fans. This is Anthony with BBSN, and we are here tonight to replay one of the greatest games in the storied Yankees-Red Sox rivalry, and that is the 1978 Bucky Dent game, that one-game playoff, which sent the Yankees to the playoffs, gave them the Eastern Division title, and eventually a World Series championship. And we'll be using the Alpha version 3 of Glory Days Baseball, a game that I am developing that will be released at an undetermined point in the future. A lot of work to do in terms of rating teams, but I am anxious to try out these new mechanics that I've come up with for this version, and thinking that this will be the gameplay mechanics that I'm going to stick with, because I really like what I'm seeing and testing thus far. So in honor of this great rivalry, and of course my buddy Al, Red Sox fan, and check out that great channel. A lot of Strat-o-matic baseball, computer and cards and dice, as well as dice baseball cards and dice. And also various video games here and there, as well as the all-time greatest heavyweight title tournament using the computer version of Title Bout. So for this game, basically the as-played lineup, with the exception of the second baseman for the Yankees, Brian Doyle actually started this game, and I have a cutoff of 27 players per team. He did not make it, but Fred Stanley did play in this game. He came in about halfway through, so he will get the start at second. Otherwise, everything as is. And as it was on October 2nd, 1978. So for the visiting Yankees, leading off in center field, Mickey Rivers. Behind the plate, Thurman Munson. Batting third, Sweet Lou Piniella. Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, is in the cleanup spot, designated hitter today. Greg Nettles at the hot corner. Chris Chambliss at first. Roy White gets the start in left field. Fred Chicken Stanley, as mentioned, at second, and Bucky F. and Dent at short. On the mound for the Bronx Bombers is Ron Guidry, 25-3, with a minuscule 1.74 ERA in 1978. And for the home-standing Red Sox, Rick Burleson at shortstop leads it off. Jerry Remy bats second and will play second. Jim Rice in right field hits third. Captain Carl Yastrzemski in left field bats cleanup. Pudge is behind the plate, Carlton Fisk. And Fred Lynn will bat sixth in center. Butch Hobson is the designated hitter tonight. George Scott at first base bats eighth. And at the hot corner, Jack Brohammer. And for the pitching, I should say, for the Beantowners is Mike Torres. And Torres, 16-13 in 1978 with a 3.96 ERA. So that said, we are ready to go. Now I'll slow down as needed, spots here and there through this game, but basically for a tutorial of this version, I posted a video earlier today entitled Anatomy of a Board Game, and if you have not seen that, I would recommend watching that before you watch this game or this video. And I start talking about this about halfway through. Or you should be able to pick it up. I'll give a real quick overview. Glory Days Baseball is based on the concept of, before the result is yielded, we have to determine if the batter puts the ball into play. So there is two rolls. Basically 95% of the at-bats will be determined with two rolls of the dice, a 6-sider, a 10-sider, and a 20-sider. And the first roll is to determine if contact was made, which is done in these columns here on the batter card. Each of them have walk, strikeout, and hit by pitch ratings, which are adjusted by the pitcher's ratings. And as an example, Guidry against right-handed batters adds 10 to their strikeout range. And Burleson against a left-handed pitcher strikes out 30-36, so that would be 30-46 facing Guidry. And Guidry, of course, had an exceptional strikeout to innings pitch ratio that year. Mike Torres, as an example, does not affect the strikeout rating of the batter either way because he was not a great strikeout pitcher. He does, however, reduce walks against right-handed batters by 1, but against left-handed batters, he adds 4 to their walk range. So it's a brief overview. Once contact is determined, in other words, no strikeout, walk, or hit by pitch occurs, you would go by the 20-sider dice and match that to the batter's contact rating versus that particular handedness of a pitcher, adjusted by the pitcher's contact adjustment, and then that determines which cards you look at. The cards are weighted so that batters will get hits generally, depending on the hitter, half to almost 2/3 of the time, and pitchers conversely will only give up hits on their card about 1/4 of the time or less. So that's a quick overview. Again, I would recommend watching the tutorial piece in the Anatomy of a Board Game video, which again, I start talking about this about halfway through that. And otherwise, you should still be able to pick it up, but let's play ball. Torres on the hill, Mickey Rivers at the plate. And first roll is a 26, and no strikeout or walk occurs. And when this happens, I'll just say strikeout or walk. If not, contact, and we'll roll on. 19 is going to be off Torres's card. So against the left-handed batter, 25 is going to be actually a rare single to left field. So Rivers goes opposite field. And Torres only gives up, I believe, 4 or 5 singles on his card. So Mick got a good dice roll. And early in the game, he is not going to try and steal. Thurman Munson up next. And 31 on Munson's card versus a right-handed pitcher. Struck him out, so no contact there. And again, 30 to 35 is Munson's K range. Torres does not affect that one way or the other. So 1 down, Rivers at first. And Rivers is going to try and get a lead in steal now. He needs a 5 or less to get a good jump. And he's got it, so 7. And behind the plate, Pudge has a 0 arm, so 7 or less, he's in there, and Rivers steals second base. So the Mick gave Munson a chance, now has to make it go with his feet. Lou Piniella up, sweet Lou, and 10, and that is going to be a base on balls. Torres adjusts his range by 1, meaning 10 to 11, but a 10 gets it done. So Piniella trots down to first base, and Mike Torres in a little bit of early trouble here in this very crucial game as Reggie Jackson steps up. And 53, and that is going to be contact, 7. And again, against the left-handed batter, Mike Torres is a -1, and Jackson, that puts him 1 to 11. So this is going to be on Jackson's card, and that does not bode well for the Red Sox early here. And 20 versus the right-handed pitcher. That is a single to center field, 17 on the resolution die, and that is going to be runners advance 2 bases on that single. And again, just real quick, the resolution die, when there's the ball is in play, either an out or a hit, you check this chart here to determine advancement. So resolution there, and again a roll of 15 to center means the batters each move up 2 bases. So Rivers scores, and sweet Lou Piniella over to third, and the Yankees break to a quick 1-0 lead. Still only 1 out as Greg Nettles steps in. And Torres, 57, that's going to be contact. 16 will be on Torres' card, however. Left-handed batter, 22. And that is a ground ball down to shortstop. And 20, runners will advance. So coming in to score is Piniella. And Reggie over to second as Burleson is unable to get the double play. Has to go to first. So Greg Nettles, 6-3 on the putout and an RBI. 2 outs and 2 in, and runner at second base for Chris Chambliss. Here comes the pitch, and 48, that is going to be contact, and 6 will be on against the right-handed pitcher. 6 will be on Chambliss's card. So 31, and against the right-hander, that's going to be a ground ball down to second, however. And up with that is Jerry Remy. Whips it over to first base. First inning in the books. The Yankees break on top. Couple hits, couple of runs. And we head to the bottom of the first inning. The Bronx Bombers 2-0 lead. And, yeesh. Some random hair on my felt. All right, so Ron Guidry takes the hill for the Bombers. He'll face Rick Burleson and 36. And Guidry versus right-handed hitters, he's got a +10 to the K range, so 30 to 43. And Burleson starts the game going down on strikes, 1 out for the Sox. Jerry Remy steps in, lefty-lefty matchup, 31. And Remy struck him out too, so Guidry starting fast, 31 there. That would have been a strikeout without the adjustment. And Guidry is a +6 against lefties. Big Jim Rice up 46, and again +10. And against lefties, 30 to 36, so 30 to 46. And Guidry strikes out the side in the first inning. So Louisiana Lightning on his game as we head to the top of the second. And Roy White steps in. And 16. And that would normally be a walk, and against a left-hand, Roy White is a switch hitter, so against a left-handed batter, Torres can only add to that, so White draws a leadoff base on balls to start the second. And Torres does not seem to have his best stuff as Fred Chicken Stanley is up, and Stanley early in the game, and he's going to hit away. 22, and 22 will be contact, and 15 will mean the contact roll comes off Torres's card, so right-handed batter. And 10, and we have an event, folks, so 6 and 6. Again, just because this has just come up. So on the event chart, when that comes up on the 1D20, 1 to 9 is a rare play. 10 to 15 is a batter potential injury, and 16 to 20 is a potential injury to the pitcher. So we have a rare play with that roll of 6, and things are getting exciting early here in Beantown, and with a runner on first base, a roll of 36. And that is going to be go to the weather chart, 1D20 for results. So here we go, 14. And 14, game called because of rain. Well, damn it, guess what? We're not going to do that. So we will just say the skies are cloudy and play on. And we will go back to Torres's card for contact now. And 14, and it's going to be a pop-up to the catcher, 1 down. Yeah, normally if I was doing a replay, I would have just ended the game there on weather. And that's, in testing this version of this game, is probably in, gosh, 30-some test games, the first weather result I have had. But we can't let that happen now. And 50, Bucky F and Dent, and that's going to be contact. And 7. Now, Dent against a right-handed pitcher is 1 to 8. Torres against a right-handed batter takes it down to 7, but that is still good enough. So contact on Dent's card, as Torres has not had any luck. And 38 versus right-handed pitcher. That's going to be a ground ball down to second base, however, 17. And 17 is going to be fielder's choice. So Roy White is erased at second for 6, and Bucky Dent on at first base. 2 outs now. And back to the top of the order for Mickey Rivers. And Dent gets the lead. Torres checks a sign, comes home. 28 is going to be contact. 12, and that is going to be off of Torres's card, so he's going to get out of this more than likely. Left-handed batter, 35. And no, Mickey Rivers again comes through, and a roll of 1 with 2 outs. That is a coach's choice, and Dent is a 6, so he's going to try for an extra base. No adjustment for the arm, and he is in there. So first and third now, as Rivers has singled off the pitcher's card in both of his first 2 at-bats, and that does not happen much, I promise. So Thurman Munson up, that's going to be a 10, 17, and that is not going to be a walk, as Munson is a right-handed batter. And his contact rate versus a righty is 1 to 10. However, the -1 adjustment puts the contact on Torres's card. And you kind of get the idea right now, so I'll just stop reminding or bringing that up, and we'll just go straight to the result. 62 is a fly out to right field. So Torres gives up a hit and a walk, but no further damage. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Bombers lead the Sox in the Bucky F and Dent 1978 replay 2-0. Captain Carl Yastrzemski as Guidry, who struck out the side in the first. Not going to happen here. We get contact, but that will be off Guidry's card, left-handed batter. And 11, ground ball down to third base. Nettles up with it over to first to Chambliss, one down. Carlton Fisk up, and Pudge takes his hacks. Here comes a pitch from Gator, 43. And against a lefty, 32, 33. And plus 10, that's going to be a strikeout. So 2 down as Guidry, 4 Ks through the first 5 batters. And 51 will be contact. 12 to Fred Lynn is going to be off Guidry's card, left-handed batter. 13 and another ground ball. So Guidry's got a missing or swinging late. Another 3 up, 3 down inning. We head to the top of the third. Yankees lead this 2-0 as Sweet Lou Piniella steps in to face Mike Torres. Oh, one quick thing, pitcher fatigue. 33 is the maximum number of batters that a pitcher can face to get fatigued or give up 6 runs, which means he has bad stuff. For Guidry, it's 32 and 5. And what happens there is basically their contact adjustment is dropped by 2, and their strikeout adjustment is dropped by 3. Base on ball adjustment is upped by 3. So when that time comes, we will deal with that if we have to. And on this roll, looks like we have another event check. And 13, that's going to be a possible injury to the batter. So Sweet Lou, injury rating of 3, which means 3 or less, and he is going to get yanked. He swings and pulls something. So we have to replace Piniella tonight. Okay, so Piniella has to leave the game, and Jay Johnstone is going to come in and finish his at-bat. 61, that is going to be contact, and contact will be off Torres' card on the roll of 15 against the left-handed batter. 69, and that's going to be a pop-up to second base. So leading off the third inning, Johnstone flies out to Remy, or pops out to Remy, 1 down. Reggie Jackson up. And 27, and that is going to be contact, and 12 against a right-hander, and against a left-handed batter. Torres only adjusts that by 1, so that is within range. And the reason Reggie's contact ratings are higher than some other batters is because he does not make contact a lot. And against a good strikeout pitcher, that previous roll would have definitely been a K. So 14, and Reggie drives a single back up the middle. So Torres getting cuffed a little bit by the Yankees early in this one. No action in the bullpen yet as Nettle steps in, and 64. And 64 to 67, we are going to have a defensive check on the result, whatever it is, and it's going to come off of Nettle's card. So first we will resolve the play, and 38 versus a right-handed pitcher is going to be a single to right field. And hit to outfield hit 20 is going to be a potential error. So what we'll do now is check the error rating of the Boston right fielder. Jim Rice is only as a 1, which is a very good defensive outfielder. And I'll just bring the chart out so we can see that. So here it is, outfield hit 20 on the 1D20, which is why we're looking here. I'll bring that so you can see. And if he makes an error, single gets through outfielder's legs, all runners score, batter gets an extra base. Normal result, runners advance 1 extra base. So if this is just a normal result, over to third will go Jackson, otherwise he will score. And again, Rice is a 1, and Roll is a 4, so he does not commit the error, makes the play, but that is enough to get Reggie to third. And Nettles on at first base with a 1-out hit. So 1 down, runners at the corner, and Yanks threatening again. Chris Chambliss up. And 45 versus a right-handed pitcher is going to be contact, and 4 is going to be on Chambliss's card. The Bombers are getting favorable treatment from the dice gods here. 49 versus the right-handed hitter or pitcher, and that is going to be a fly out to left or center field. And 5 on the resolution die, outfield fly out. And runners are going to hold on that, as that is a shallow fly ball. Yep, all runners hold. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong column. Lead runner on third base, 1 to 6, all runners hold. So still a shallow fly ball. And the Bo Sox dodge a bullet there as Roy White steps up. And 12, and White versus the right-handed pitcher, and he is going to draw his second walk of the game, and the sacks are now juiced. And with so much on the line in this game, Dennis Eckersley, another starting pitcher, prepares to start loosening up in the Red Sox bullpen to try and put out this fire. Fred Chicken Stanley up, fortunately a weak hitter, and 69, and that is bad. That is a potential wild pitch. So Torres, 1 to 5 is a wild pitch on the 1D20. 20 is a balk, and behind the plate, Fisk does not have any passed balls, so we're good there. And Torres has uncorked a wild pitch. So coming in to score is Reggie Jackson. Over to third is Nettles, and down to second goes Roy White, and the Yankees extend their lead 3-0. Fred Stanley back in now. And 11, and that is going to be another base on balls. So Torres is struggling, and Dennis Eckersley is probably going to see this game sooner rather than later. Bucky up and Dent up, and 38. Dent versus right-handed pitcher is only a 30 to 32 strikeout with no adjustment. And 8 is going to come off of Eckersley's card, however, because Dent is only a 1 to 8 contact, and the -1. So Torres looking to get out of a potentially disastrous inning, and that's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop, 6-3 on the putout. Yankees, couple more hits and another run, and we head to the bottom of the third. Yankees lead this 3-0. So I'm just going to start playing normal now without stopping for explanations unless something comes up that we have not seen. And 12 against Hobson versus a left-handed pitcher, and he's going to draw a leadoff walk against Guidry. So the Sox hoping to chip into this lead. George Scott, Boomer, steps up to the plate. And 52 is going to be contact, and that will be contact off Scott's card versus a left-handed pitcher. And 53 is a double into left field, and 2 on the 1D20. Runners advance 1 base. So the Sox are in business and coming back against Louisiana Lightning. Runners on second and third, nobody out for Jack Brohammer. Brohammer digs in, and 67. And that will be a defensive check as we resolve this. And Brohammer, 11 is going to be off Guidry's card. So 24, and against the left-handed batter, 24 is going to be a ground ball down to shortstop, and 17. 17 on the ground ball is going to be an error check. Bucky Dent at short, and Dent is a 3, so 3 or less, and we have an error, and Bucky Dent drops the ball, transitioning to throw. Batter safe, runners advance 1. So coming in to score is Hobson on the error. Over to third goes Scott, and Brohammer on with an E6. Unearned run for Guidry, and no RBI for Brohammer. Still nobody out. Now runners at the corners, back to the top of the order for Rick Burleson. And 24 is going to be contact off of Guidry's card, a right-handed batter. And 12, and that's going to be a ground ball down to third base, and runners were not in, so infield was not in, sorry. Runner at third, Scott is going to come in to score. And 5-4-3 twin killing. And that will also be an unearned run for Gator, since that would have been the third out had Dent made that play. But the Sox back in this, 3-2 Yankees, and 63. It's going to be contact, and that's going to be off of Gator's card. And 54 against a left-handed batter. And that is a fly ball to left field, and the side is retired. But the Sox take advantage of an error, only one hit, a walk, and the Big E6. And they scratch out 2 runs. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Yankees lead this 3-2. And the mitt back to the top of the order up. And 32 for Rivers. And against the right-handed pitcher, and 32 struck him out. So Rivers goes down swinging. Thurman Munson up next. And 50, that'll be contact off of Torres's card. And 46 versus the right-handed batter, that's going to be a fly out to center field, 2 down. So Torres bouncing back, 2 quick outs for the Yanks here in the top of the 4th. Jay Johnstone in for the injured Lou Piniella. And wild pitch is not applicable, and 20, so we will go straight to resolution of the play. 20, contact will be off of Torres's card, left-handed batter, 45. And that is another fly ball to center field. So Fred Lynn busy out there, and 3 up, 3 down for the first time for the Bombers. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, 3-2 Yanks lead it. Jim Rice up for the Sox. And 61, contact, and 8 versus a lefty. And against a right-hander, his adjustment is only 3, so contact will come off of Rice's card, and this is not the guy you want to make a mistake to. And 52 versus a lefty, and a deep fly ball to left, but Roy White, backhand, pulls it in, 1 down. So allowed out there. And definitely when you get on the batter's card, outs are much rarer than hits. So 11 to Captain Carl against the left-hander. He's going to draw the base on balls. Guidry's second. So Yaz trots down to first base. Runner on first for Carlton Fisk. 1 down. Here comes a pitch from Gator. 17. That's going to be contact off of Guidry's card. And 58 against a right-handed batter. That's going to be a fly ball to left field. And 19, not going to advance Yastrzemski. So 2 down, runner on first for Fred Lynn, 24. And 24 will be contact 13. That'll come off Guidry's card. And 32 against the left-handed batter. That's going to be a ground ball down to second base, and Fred Chicken Stanley up with it over to first, and Guidry gets out of the inning. So we head to the top of the 5th. Yankees lead this, the Bucky Dent, Bucky F. and Dent, 1978 one-game playoff replay, 3-2, as Reggie digs in for the Bombers. And 21 for Reggie. It is going to be contact, and it's going to be off of Reggie's card, a big hack. And 17 versus a right-hander. It's going to be another line drive single back up the middle for Reggie. So Jackson 3 for 3. And Eckersley is ready to come in for the Red Sox as needed. Greg Nettles up to the plate now. And 30, Nettles swing and miss, strike 3. Torres a big K there. No contact on that one, Chris Chambliss. And 58 is going to be contact. It'll be off X card, or Torres's card versus the right-handed batter. Or left-handed batter, sorry. 14, and that's going to be a pop-up to the catcher. Fisk circles under that, and 2 down. So Torres seems to have gotten his sea legs under him a little bit. Roy White up now. And 49 will be contact. That'll come off Torres's card. And 11, that's a ground ball down to third base. And this inning is over. So the Yankees get a hit, but cannot do any further damage on the scoreboard. Heading to the bottom of the 5th, still 3-2. The Bombers over the Bo Sox as Butch Hobson set to lead it off against Gator Guidry. He walked his first time up. 20 will be contact off of Guidry's card. 49 versus the right-handed batter. And 49 is going to be a ground ball right back to Guidry. He whips that over to Chambliss, 1 down. Butch Hobson back to the dugout as Big George Scott, Boomer, steps up. 23 will be contact. And 11, and that is going to be versus a left-handed pitcher, but a -3 adjustment, so Guidry's card. And 59 against the southpaw, or against the right-handed batter, sorry. 59 is going to be a fly ball to left field, 2 down. And Jack Brohammer reached on a costly error by Bucky Dent, his first time up. And 60 will be contact on Guidry's card. And against the left-handed batter, 11, and that's going to be a ground ball down to Nettles. Nettles busy today, whips it over to Chambliss. 3 up, 3 down for the Bo Sox. We head to the 6th, still 3-2 Yankees. So the playoff game is living up to the hype as Torres, on shaky ground, he's given up thus far 6 hits and 3 runs, and he is hanging on by a string. And actually, 27, I've been watching his batters, 30, 34, so he is actually at his fatigue point. 1, 2, 3, 30. Yep, he will be at his fatigue point with this batter, actually, Fred Stanley. So we're going to have a pitching change after this at bat. 63, and that is not going to be a defensive check, so it'll be contact off Torres' card. And versus the right-handed batter, 60, and that is going to be a fly ball to left field. So 1 down, and Torres is definitely feeling the fatigue here, and he's going to be lifted. We're going to have a pitching change, timeout. Okay, I screwed that up, actually. Torres will not be fatigued until he faces Chris Chambliss for the 4th time, so he's still on the hill. How about that? And Bucky Dent up. And 47, that's going to be contact, and Dent 1-8 versus the righty, and Torres' adjustment puts the contact on Torres' card. And 23, ground ball down to shortstop. So 2 quick out for the Yankees here in the 6th. Back to the top of the order, Mickey Rivers up. And Rivers, he has singled twice and struck out today, scored a run, stolen a base. 67, and this is going to be a defensive check off of Torres' card. So 24 against the left-hander, and that is a ground ball down to shortstop, and 5 is going to be a range check. So at shortstop for the Red Sox, Rick Burleson has a range of 7. He is decent there, and he gets to that. And highlight reel stop, about at first base, and runners advance 1. There are no runners, so that is the inning on a big play by Rick Burleson. Dives to rob Rivers of a hit. 3 up, 3 down, go the Yankees in the 6th. We're heading to the bottom of the frame. Still 3-2 Bombers. Rick Burleson, top of the order for the Sox. Guidry digs in, 31, struck him out. So Guidry with a high heat gets Burleson. 2nd time Rick has gone down swinging. Jerry Remy up, lefty-lefty matchup, 27, going to be contact off of Guidry's card. And again, I kind of got these adjustments in my head, so that's why I'm just kind of breezing through that. Against the left-hander, 42 is going to be a fly out to center field. Rivers puts that away, 2 down, and Jim Rice steps up. Gator steps up, 29, and that will be contact off of Guidry's card. 36 against a right-hander. That's going to be a ground ball down to Stanley at second base. And 3 up, 3 down for Gator again. He is cruising. Has only given up 1 hit, but had a walk and an unfortunate error. We are through 6 innings. Yanks lead this one 3-2. And Eckersley has set down in the Red Sox bullpen, and instead Bob Stanley and Dick Drago are loosening up, ready to go if needed. So Torres comes out for his 7th inning of work to face Thurman Munson, and 19 going to be contact on Munson's card. So Munson looking to start another rally for the Yankees, and 23 against the right-hander. That's going to be a ground ball to shortstop, however. So Munson gets the contact on his card but cannot deliver, and 1 down for Jay Johnstone in for Sweet Lou Piniella. 18, and that's going to be contact on Johnstone's card. And just missed getting a base on balls on that, but 63, and Johnstone, that's a big drive to right field, and going back is Rice, hauls it in over his shoulder. 2 down. So Johnstone gives that a ride. Reggie Jackson up now. Jackson, 1 swing of the bat, can get some insurance, and 10. Torres walks him. So Jackson trots down to first, and Torres now 13 to Nettles, and right-handed pitcher. And Nettles is going to draw a walk, and that is going to be it. So Torres, he would become fatigued after facing Chambliss, who is the next batter. However, with runners on first and second, Torres, his night is going to be over, so we will change pitchers. Okay, so Bob Stanley is a new Red Sox pitcher. Mike Torres, his day is done. Went 6 2/3, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs all earned. Had some control problems, issued 6 walks, struck out 3. So Stanley trying to keep this right where it is as Chris Chambliss steps up to the plate. And 33, and Chambliss against the right-hander, and Stanley, unfortunately, is a -4 to the K rating. Now, on the K rating adjustment, you cannot go below a 30 if he has Ks. So Chambliss is going to make contact, and against a left-handed batter, a -1. Not enough. That's going to come on Chambliss's card. So 34 and a 19. And Chambliss, and that is a single into right field. Runners advance 2. So I guess I closed the book prematurely on Torres. He is actually going to be responsible for that run and potentially the run on third as the Yankees extend their lead. And 26 will be contact. It'll be on Roy White's card versus the right-hander. 31, Roy White grounds that down to second base, however, and the inning is over. But the Yankees get a very key run, take advantage of a couple of walks. And we are through 6.5 innings. 7th inning stretch time here at Fenway. Yankees lead this important, crucial, for all the marbles playoff game 4-2. And Yastrzemski, as this strains the old ball game fade into the distance, steps up to face Gator, who is strong as ever, and 47. And Yastrzemski versus a left-hander, and that is going to be contact on Yastrzemski's card. Gives it a rip, 48, and Yastrzemski fly out to center field, 1 down. So Guidry remains strong as Carlton Fisk steps up, and 19, that'll be contact, and contact off of Guidry's card. Red Sox have had some chances to get to Guidry, as that's a pop out to second base. Stanley puts that away. But rolls on their card have not been favorable. Jim Rice had a good opportunity. 16 versus Fred Lynn, and against the left-handed pitcher. That is going to be contact, and again comes off Guidry's card. And 20. And 20 against the left-handed batter. That's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop. Bucky Dent takes care of that. And another 3-up, 3-down inning for Louisiana Lightning. And the Red Sox have got to get something going. They trail 4-2 as we head to the 8th. And Bob Stanley faces Fred Stanley, no relation. 65, this will be an error check, and contact is going to come off of Stanley's card. So 44 against the right-handed pitcher, and that's going to be a single into right field. And 16 on an outfield hit is an error check, so again in right field. Jim Rice is an error rating of 1. He gets to the play, but Stanley is on with a single to start the 8th inning here. And Bucky, F, and Dent, and wouldn't it be ironic if he could go deep here against Stanley? Stanley winds up, and 68, a potential wild pitch. And 6 is not going to be a wild pitch, so we will go to contact. And that is going to come off of Dent's card, so Bucky Dent looking to be the hero here, 27 against the right-hander, and that's a single into left field. And runner on first base, single into left field in 11. And that is station to station, so Stanley stops at second base. 2 on for the Yankees, and Drago is back up and throwing furiously in the Red Sox bullpen. As back to the top of the order, Mickey Rivers, and 34, Rivers! And again, Stanley not a strikeout pitcher, so contact's going to come off Rivers' card, and Rivers having a big day, 60 versus the right-hander. And that's going to be a fly out to right field, and 20 is deep enough to get the runner over to third. So sac fly 9, and going over to third is Stanley with a very big insurance run as Thurman Munson steps up, 1 down. And 31, and Stanley -2 to right-handed strikeouts. That's still going to be good enough to send Munson down swinging, so 2 down, and a huge strikeout for Bob Stanley. The Vulture, as Jay Johnson steps in now. 25 will be contact off of Stanley's card, left-handed batter. 61, and that's a fly ball to right field, and inning is over. So Stanley pitches himself out of trouble, and we are heading to the top of the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Yankees clinging to a 4-2 lead as Guidry prepared to face Hops, and Guidry has not given up a hit since the 3rd inning of this one. And 16 is going to be contact on Guidry's card, Hops in the right-handed batter. And 25, and that's going to be a ground ball down to Stanley at second base, 1 down. So Louisiana Lightning, he is still fresh enough to go the distance, and a 25 going to be contact, and again on Guidry's card. The 1D20 is favoring the Yanks, and 49 against a right-handed batter, and that is going to be a ground ball back to Guidry again. Second put out for Gator this game, and 2 outs. Jack Burrowhammer up. Lefty-lefty matchup, and 51 contact again on Guidry's card. So 27 against the left-hander, and that is a ground ball down to Stanley at second base. So another 3-up, 3-down inning for Guidry and the Yankees, and time is running out on the Sox here as they try to win this 1-game playoff, get to the World Series. But the Yankees, top of the 9th inning, and Stanley has faced 7 batters. He will be fatigued with 5 more. 66 will be a defensive check. It'll come off Stanley's card. So 63 and the left-hander, and that's going to be a fly out to right field. And 15 on the fly ball is going to be an error check. And again out in right field, and Rice been getting tested, and 1, he commits the error. So that is a outfielder runs down liner, return throw wild, batter out, runners advance 1. So luckily no runners on base. That just goes down as an F9. So Rice retires Jackson, 1 out. A little bit of drama there. If there were runners on base, would have been problems. 48-19, and that's going to be contact off Stanley's card for Nettles. And 38, left-handed batter, and that is going to be a ground ball down to first base, 2 down. So 3 unassisted for Boomer. And Chris Chambliss steps in. Chambliss today is 1 for 4 with an RBI, and the pitch is 36. And that will be contact off Chambliss's card. Against the right-handed pitcher, Chambliss, 26, and that's a opposite field single to left, so Chambliss has his second hit of the day. And Stanley has two more batters to face. Roy White, 26, contact, and White versus the right-hander is only a 1-9, so that's going to be off of Stanley's card. And Stanley, 64 against the lefty, a fly ball to right field. Inning is over. So Yankees get a hit, but no insurance, and we are heading to the bottom of the 9th inning, and Guidry, showing no signs of fatigue, leads this one 4-2. And just in case, Goose Gossage has begun to loosen up in the Yankees bullpen as top of the order, Rick Burleson steps in. Last chance for the Sox. And 43 against a right-handed batter. And that's a +10, and that is going to be a strikeout, Burleson's third of the day. So the Red Sox need to at least make some contact here. 50, and that will be contact. 7 versus a lefty, and Guidry's adjustment versus a lefty is -4, so that'll be on Guidry's card. Gator pitching strong, 25, ground ball down to Stanley, 2 outs. So Guidry, 1 out away from twirling a 1-hit masterpiece. The only flaws here were a walk and a double in the third, followed by an error by Bucky Dent. 2 unearned runs and 26, and that'll be contact. And Jim Rice against a left-handed pitcher is a 12 and adjustment of 3, and that's going to be off Rice's card. So Jim Rice, chance to keep it going, and 29. And that is going to be a hard line drive single to left field, so Rice gets the Sox second hit of the game. And going to bring up Captain Carl Yastrzemski. And 18 is going to be contact, and it'll come off Guidry's card, unfortunately. This should be the ball game, and 30 versus a left-hander. That's a ground ball down to Stanley. Stanley picks it up, whips it over to Chambliss, and the Yankees win the American League East in this replay by a final score of 4-2. So we will be right back to wrap this up with the final numbers. All right, so our final tally in this one. The Yankees, 4 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. And for the Red Sox, 2 runs on only 2 hits and 2 errors. And Guidry went the distance, gave up 2 hits, 2 unearned runs, walked 2, and struck out 6. He is the winning pitcher. And Mike Torres, 6 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 6 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He is your losing pitcher. And offensive stars of the game. For the Yankees, Mickey Rivers had a couple of hits and a run scored. Reggie Jackson actually went 3 for 4, 2 runs scored and a ribby, so he's going to be the offensive player of the game. And a tough outing for Torres. He just had a rough start, couldn't get out of trouble early. And Guidry, minus that 3rd inning, was just money lights out. So pitching pretty much like he did throughout most of 1978. And again, this replay in real life ended 5-4 Yankees on Bucky Dent's late inning home run over the Green Monster. No home runs in this one, but still a close and exciting contest. In doubt really until the last inning, until the Yankees got that insurance run in the 7th. So that is it. That is a full game demo of Glory Days Baseball Prototype version 3. And again, this is the one that I really like. I feel very good about this. I like the interaction with pitcher and batter in terms of the non-contact results, meaning walks and strikeouts, and then versus each other in terms of where the contact takes place. Definitely, you know, what I was looking for was something that really impacts who is pitching, and you saw that today with Guidry. Guidry had a phenomenal season in 1978, so you saw that with him a couple of times throughout this game where adjustments took potential rolls off the hitter's cards and put them on his, which is very very, or a lot less likely, I should say, to produce a hit. And conversely, Torres actually pitched good early. He had a couple of singles off of his card, which is very rare. And I'll grab his card here. Mickey Rivers had both of those. And you'll see on Torres's card against the left-handed batter, his chances for hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 with a double. So really 6 out of 60 opportunities to get a hit off of Torres's card. And Rivers hit 2 of them, and one of them led to him scoring a run, and that could have been a difference maker. So that's another fun thing I'm finding with this game during testing is there is definitely an impact on how good a pitcher is and how well a batter performs when he makes contact. And you saw Reggie has very high contact ratings, but that's because he walks and strikes out more than the average batter. And today he did not strike out, so he had a good day at the plate. And you know, also there's still that unpredictability to it, such as the 2 hits coming off of Torres's card, which really does not happen that much. And the Red Sox, Jim Rice, a couple of batters had opportunities to get to Guidry, but rolled outs on their cards. So, yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. I think I've pretty much just about got the mechanics dialed in. Of course, more testing, and I'll play some more games. What I'm going to do actually is I will rate the Los Angeles Dodgers. I actually started that. I got Don Sutton's card done. Woohoo! So 26 more players to go on the Dodgers, and I think what I will do then is replay the 1978 World Series, which of course the Yankees, as in real life, we'll just say they win the pennant and the Dodgers win the pennant, and we'll see what happens in the series. So hope you enjoyed this. If you do have any comments, feedback, and again, this video ran long because I talked a little bit more versus just playing, especially early in the video. I'm getting test games done a little bit quicker than the prototype version 2. So a good game I'm getting done in about 35 to 40 minutes, which is pretty comparable to, you know, probably not as, well, obviously not as quick, sorry, as Strat. Or payoff pitch, which I can get payoff pitch in about 30 to 35 minutes in Strat, depending on the version, 25 to 30 for basic and 35 to 40 for super advanced. So this is kind of comparable to Strat super advanced in terms of time to play, but you know, still definitely get a full game in under 45 minutes, no problem. Once you get, especially once you get the charts kind of memorized with what's a double play and what's a runner advancement, really not that hard to pick that up as you play. So that is it. Glory Days Baseball, prototype version 3, and shout out to El Red Sox fan. Check out that wonderful channel. This game was for you, buddy. And if you have any Dodgers fans out there, chime in, and we'll see what happens in the 1978 series replay. And you know, it'll take me, if I sat right down and rated a whole team, I could get an entire team rated in probably 4 or 5 hours. I just don't have 4 or 5 hours to devote. So probably over the course of the next 3 days, I'll get the Dodgers done and printed out and shoot for not this weekend but next weekend to get the start the World Series replay. And of course, we will have other videos in between, such as Soccer Blast and Glory Days Boxing and Payoff Pitch for the Jenkins 1969 replay. So until next time, thanks for watching. Keep swinging for the fences, and we'll see ya.